All right, today we are jumping into an absolutely incredible story. It's about life, death, and a second chance that, believe it or not, came with a really heavy price. This is the story of King Hezekiah and how a miraculous recovery actually set the stage for his kingdom's downfall.
But before we get into all the history, let me just ask you something. If you were granted more time, a real, genuine second chance at life, what would you do with it? How would you live? Would you be grateful, cautious, or would you maybe feel, I don't know, kind of invincible? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we go through Hezekiah's journey.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We've got King Hezekiah of Judah. He's a powerful ruler, he's faithful, he's led his people well, and things are looking pretty good. But then disaster strikes. And it's not on the battlefield, it's inside his own body.
And we're not talking about just a minor cold here. The text is super clear. He was at the point of death. I mean, his entire reign, his life, everything he had built was about to just end. Suddenly.
And just in case there was any lingering doubt, the prophet Isaiah shows up to make it official. Can you even imagine hearing these words? There's no wiggle room, no false hope. It's a direct, blunt message. You are going to die, you will not recover. This is a death sentence, delivered from the highest possible authority.
So how does Hezekiah react? Well, it's about as human as it gets. He doesn't argue, he doesn't rage, he just turns his face to the wall, a sign of total private despair, and he weeps bitterly. It's this powerful moment that reminds you when you're facing your own mortality, titles like king mean nothing. He's just a man at the end of his life.
But you know, this isn't the end of the story. Not even close. In that moment of complete and utter despair, Hezekiah does the only thing he really can do. He prays. And what happens next is just a stunning, dramatic reversal.
And the response he gets? Wow. It's not just a simple yes, it's this whole package deal, a four-part promise. First, his prayer is heard. That's huge. Second, healing is explicitly promised. Third, his life is extended. And finally, to prove it's all real, a sign is offered. It is a complete, total, reassuring answer to his desperate plea.
And we're not talking about some vague promise here either. Nope, it is laser specific. 15 years. He's being given a precise, tangible number. This turns an abstract idea into a concrete reality. He's not just getting better, he's getting a whole new lease on life. And it even comes with a clear expiration.
So, Hezekiah gets the promise of healing and more time. But he wants proof, something to hang his hat on. He asks for a sign that this is all really happening. And this leads to one of the most mind-bending moments in the entire story, a test that literally bends the laws of nature.
Isaiah basically presents him with a choice, using the shadow on a sundial or a stairway that acts like one. Think of it like this. There's the easy way, the natural way for the shadow to just move forward 10 steps. Speed up time a little. But the hard way, the impossible way, that would be to make the shadow move backward, to literally turn back time.
And this is where you really get inside Hezekiah's head. He says moving the shadow forward is a simple matter. He doesn't want something that could just be a weird fluke, something that could be explained away. He wants something undeniably, absolutely miraculous. Something that screams, this could not happen by chance. It really shows you how much we need certainty when everything is on the line.
And then the impossible happens. The shadow moves backward 10 steps. The miracle is done, just like he asked. His healing is confirmed by a sign that completely defies physics. I mean, at this point you have to think Hezekiah's faith has been rewarded in the most spectacular way you can imagine.
You would think the story ends right here, right? A grateful king lives out his extra years in peace and wisdom. But this is where things take a turn. A big one. A new test is coming. And this time, it's not born from sickness and desperation. It's born from health, wealth, and pride.
So word gets out about his miraculous recovery, and it travels far, all the way to the powerful kingdom of Babylon. They send envoys, supposedly just to congratulate him. But let's be real, this is a political visit. It's a chance for Babylon to size up the kingdom of Judah. And this is where we see that sometimes success can be a way more dangerous test of character than failure ever is.
So how does Hezekiah handle this high-stakes visit? He gives them the grand tour. He shows them everything, not just a few things here and there. All of it. The silver, the gold, the spices, the fine oil, the royal armory. every single thing in his storehouses. The same man who turned his face to the wall and wept in weakness is now boasting in his own strength.
And when the prophet Isaiah confronts him about it later, Hezekiah's own words they tell you everything you need to know about his mindset. He actually boasts, "There is nothing among my treasures that I did not show them." In one moment of pure pride, he laid his kingdom's entire wealth and military might bare for a rising, ambitious foreign power. Just a huge mistake.
That single act of showing off, born from his recovery and all his success, completely alters the future of his nation. And the prophet Isaiah returns, but this time he's not bringing a message of healing. He's bringing a prophecy of doom.
And the prophecy is almost poetic in its justice, a direct link between the crime and the punishment. It is chillingly precise. You know, all that stuff you were so proud to show off to the Babylonians? Well, they're going to come back and take it all. And to make it even more personal, your own descendants, your kids, will be taken captive to serve in the Babylonian king's palace.
And now we get to what might be the most shocking part of the entire story, Hezekiah's response. He doesn't weep like he did for his own death. He doesn't beg for his family. He just says, "The word of the Lord is good," and then he reveals his true selfish motive. Hey, as long as there's peace and security in my lifetime, it's fine. The man who begged for his own life shows a stunning, chilling lack of concern for the future.
And that really leaves us with the central question of his legacy, doesn't it? Was he the faithful king who prayed and was saved? Or did that second chance at life ultimately corrupt him, turning him into a short-sighted ruler whose pride sealed his kingdom's fate? It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest tests we face don't come in our moments of crisis, but in our moments of success.